listening to Midnight Metanoia 555 podcast with Mystic Persia. This is a brand new episode. Stay tuned to hear about this exciting but mysterious case. Bam, honey. Yes, honeys. Okay. Now, I mentioned before, I don't know why I was not able to upload my new introduction on here yet. I need to get it together. Okay, this weekend, okay, we're going to get it together. We're going to do a lot of stuff. We're doing a lot of upgradations and stuff. Okay, there's a new spirit in town, and we need to get her together. Anyway, so I want to be very cute, very straight to the point, very direct. I do not want to draw this episode out too long. I told you I want to keep the Midnight Metanoia short because people no longer have an attention span, and there's nothing against that per se, because it's not really your fault, but anyway, I'll stay out for that. We'll keep it for another topic. So tonight we're having the assistance of two very powerful energies to assist me on connecting with energies that pertains to Leonard. Okay, Lionel, Bernard, St. Thomas, whatever this man's name is. We don't really care. Honestly, we don't care, but we do care because he is a member of the Shapers. Okay, now let me upload this picture really quickly so we can jump on in. Of course, all things in this episode is alleged until proven otherwise, as we have scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And what I mean by that is that everything that I'm saying here is based on my opinions, what I'm feeling. Okay, I'm an energy reader. Okay, we don't get into these, elaborate titles. I read energy, and I can say up to this point, sometimes I've been wrong. Okay, because you can't get things right all the time. But I would say my accuracy would be 95%. I would say 95%. And I'm willing to stand corrected when proven otherwise. So jumping right on in. Tonight, we're talking about Jeffrey Dahmer, the man with 1,000 faces. And of course, this is not my saying because I don't know this man. Based on what I've seen, based on what I feel, this is a man who shows many, many faces. And of course, going into him being a Gemini, that could be why that energy is coming up for me. But I would encourage you to also do your research on how different this individual have looked over the years. Okay, so listen, I want to jump on in and I want to talk about some things that a lot of you are probably not even aware of. Okay. So first of all, to give you a background, Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster, was an American serial killer and a sex offender who committed murder and dismemberment of 17 men and boys from 1978 to 1991. Now, I want you to pay attention to the numbers, the years. And when I say numbers, I mean the numbers of people. I want you to pay attention to the title that he has been giving, the titles, as well as, self-proclaimed titles, and the year, right? The years, 1978 to 1991. And I think it's a little earlier than that, but we're going to keep it there for the sake so this does not turn into a 2-hour, 3-hour long Midnight Metanoia. Okay. So jumping right on in, okay. I could not help but notice that 1978 is when this all started. And from what I found in my research, that Jeffrey's father had remarried another woman in 1978. Now, I did not do my research on why he remarried this woman in 1978, but he was married to Jeffrey's mother from 1959, I believe, to 1978. And I'm not saying that triggered Jeffrey's, spiral of murders, because I do feel like it's way before then. 1972 comes up. Something happened during that time. And even going into them saying that he grew up in, Milwaukee, and he was connected to his grandmother from Milwaukee, and he lived with her at a short period of time. There's other stuff that comes up for this man and his family, and I know they are descendants of from Germany, even going to what his last name means, and of course we'll break that down a little bit too. But going into the fact that there's energies coming up from this man from Philadelphia, from New Jersey, from Ohio, um, and then also a little bit of Chicago. And I don't know if this is where his victims are from. But I definitely feel like he's actually been in these places and he's connected to these people that are either currently there right now or was once there. Okay, so I think that this is just more than just his victims being from these areas, because of course, from what we've seen in documentaries and movies, that he lived in Milwaukee, and this is where all the little crimes happen. Okay, so numbers to me tell a lot, and if you see me in my other episodes, I pay attention to detail because I feel like the devil is in the detail. So first of all, going back to 1970s, 1970s were very, very big and influential when it came to the occult in America. Going into witchcraft and the term, Satanism and Luciferianism, that being brought over from the 60s or 50s and the 60s. So all the shit was stirred up during the time that they are alleging that Jeffrey Dahmer was even born or conceived. But in the 1970s, it became really big. And it became really big in the aspect of they were promoting, gay sex. And I'm just going to say that, gay sex. In the occult, they were now introducing anal sex. They were now introducing, woman on woman, man on man. Because once again, magic techniques are always evolving. And of course, they started introducing this. And so this became very, very big behind the scenes. And of course, there are a lot of groups connected to this, which I will not spend my time going over in this video because this video is pertaining to, just Jeffrey Dahmer and his background. So either way, like I said, in the 70s, there was a lot of books and a lot of publications and a lot of movies and a lot of talks, a lot of groups that even surfaced all around the world, primarily in California, primarily in, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, and then looping on down to Georgia, even northern Florida. And like I said, these are things that I don't think people talk about, but this is what has come up for me. And of course, bridging a gap from northern Florida clear across to Los Angeles. And of course, there's a line of cities along the way in different states that also fall on this line, like New Orleans, going into Texas. Like I say, you do your history on that. But either way, in 1972, there was an article released by Time magazine that said something along the lines of Satan has returned. And I find it very interesting because slowly but surely after 1972, you start hearing of these horrific crimes that have been connected to Satanism, right? You can do research on that. 1972 all the way up to 2022. Okay, so there's a reason why, and I believe that they play with these numbers. There's a reason why 1972 to 2022, they decided to make a TV show about Jeffrey Dahmer, a series, and to really, now people want to be him for Halloween. Now people want to do all this little weird shit. So going into, like I said, 1972 is when Time magazine released saying that Satan has returned. The occult stuff was really, really big in the 70s. They were even talking about the revival of witchcraft in Britain in the 1970s. Okay, like I said, you could do your own research on that too, where they literally had people going around pretending to be witches, okay, pretending to be interested in witchcraft to learn about the occult. And we see that right now. See, we got people that are claiming to be pastors and ministers. And of course, the Spirit of God showed me the secrets of the occult, and Jesus showed me this and that. No, baby. You were a spy. You were a spy, or you're a descendant of a spy. And that's how you figured out how the occult work. Okay. And like I said, it's a little interesting that gangs are also connected to satanic, ritualistic killings. So anyway, looping back over to Jeffrey Dahmer, a very interesting article was put out from 17 magazine, and I do feel like 17 magazine is well connected, and you could take it how you want to take it, honey, but it's well connected, girl. And I got my eyes on these motherfuckers, honey. Okay, but anyway, with all due respect, so they talk about Jeffrey Dahmer's grandmother. And believe it or not, her name was Catherine Jemima Hughes. And for a split second, I was like, Jemima like Jemima? So Jeffrey was part black? And going into Hughes too. Yeah, the Hughes I know are black. But either way, honey, his grandmother's not black, allegedly from Germany. Anyway, but it says that she played a major role in the notorious serial killing story of Dahmer killing multiple men during his time living with her. He killed them and dismembered them, and these bodies was admitting odor in the home. And yet, it is believed that Catherine was not aware of what was happening in her basement. Now, I don't believe that she was not fully aware. The type of energies that I'm getting with this is definitely some trickery. Okay. There is a man that comes up here that's connected to this grandmother, and he is a fire sign. This man is very, very, very sneaky, very deceitful. And I also felt like he is connected to the violation of Jeffrey Dahmer. I do see that Jeffrey Dahmer was abused as a child sexually, definitely sexually. Even going into being the ringleader, and like I said, all this alleged or proven otherwise. I believe that Jeffrey's grandmother was definitely aware of him being connected to groomers. We'll say that, being connected to groomers as a kid. Okay. Going into the last energy, just pulling up emotional conflict. And of course, this brought out a lot of rage in Jeffrey, right? A lot of rage, a lot of, just sexual deviance. You know, I don't see anything with Jeffrey hating women. I don't see anything with, Jeffrey, attacking women. But I definitely see just a fondship of males, and not like a gayness neither. It was like he wanted to be a different male, and his way of getting with these, his way of channeling this energy that he learned from his groomer. Once again, this fire sign energy. Jeffrey, once again, through sexual acts and becoming personally involved with other men, he kind of took on that energy. Like, what would it be like to be this type of guy? What would it be like to be this? Anything different but himself, right? Anything different from his trauma, anything outside of what he was dealing with. And that's what I see what is going on here. The grandmother was definitely aware, like I said, she was even aware of this groomer. Like I said, it's an older male fire sign, and he's definitely connected to this family. Like almost like an uncle-like figure. I don't think this is a direct bloodline, but I would say Jeffrey would consider this man his uncle. So going into that, okay, they also started going into her address, right? And they said that she lived at West Alice on 2357 South 57th Street. Now, this kind of reminds me of, like, once again, going into numbers, because I think going into his address as well, Jeffrey's address, there was a lot of connections with numbers there too. So we know that 2 plus 3 is 5. We know that 5 is 5, duh. We know that 7 is there. So once again, we're seeing 5, 5, 7, 5, 7. And so I just noticed, like, wow, there's a lot going on with that, right? There's a lot going on with that. They said that in 1991, he was actually, let me see, I'm jumping the gun. Let me see here, because I pulled it up for the sake just to tap into this tea right now. Let me see. Okay, maybe I saw it on something else. It was saying something about he was charged after he was caught with his little tea. Let me see, y'all. I know I came across it. I kind of just opened this up. I was like, let me click on this. Okay, maybe I got over it. Okay. So he remained at his grandmother's house for a total of 9 years. We know that nine is six. Okay. They mentioned that he was arrested for indecent exposure in 1982, and it was charged with disorderly conduct in 1986. So there's just a lot of sixes and eights around this man. And like I said, there was something that came up, but I guess, hey, maybe Spirit's like, listen, you don't need to bring that up. Oh, here we go. It was on the Today Show. There we go. Okay. So the father allegedly, when Jeffrey Dahmer got arrested in 1989 for convicting of second-degree sexual assault, he was sentenced to a year at a work release camp, and he was released in 1990. Now we know that 1990 is 666. In 1990, if you look back at 1990, you're going to see a lot of demonic connections that was released into the world, like drugs, sex, alcohol. Like I say, you can do your research on that. I don't need to go into that. You can do your research on that. But either way, he wrote a letter to Judge William Gardner. And I thought that was interesting too, because there was another William Gardner, or the same name, who's actually the man who actually invented witchcraft. Okay. And of course, they have his name spelled differently. It's like Gardner. And either way, he was asking the judge to keep Jeffrey in prison because he believed that his son needed additional mental health treatment. According to the letter he reads in his 2020 documentary, and he actually goes into, speak of the story. But either way, it says that he went on to murder when he was released. He was released 2 months earlier. And that's why what comes up for me with this energy, that is, there was some type of sex occult linked to the police officers, linked to, I'm gonna say white supremacy, because that's what I'm getting with that. And they're all descendants of Nazis. Okay, that's the type of energy I'm getting with this. And so all this shit is linked up. Okay, and this is why this man was released, even though his father was like, "Don't release the man." He was released two months earlier. And from what I'm told and what I know, like Wisconsin and all these other places were not really fond of homosexual activity anyway. And this man have a history of having homosexual acts and shit done. So going into the belief of his connection with, the occult, and like I said, white supremacy and people, being linked to, human trafficking, sex trafficking of minors, and I'm just going to keep it at children because I don't see any type of females, the helping of women to lure children. No, this is strictly men and children. But he went on to murder 14-year-old Connor Rack Phone, which was the brother of the man that he molested. Remember, he was arrested for second-degree assault. So he comes out and he kills this boy. And they were aware of this shit, y'all. They were aware of this. Police was aware of this. They were connected to this. They knew exactly what was going on. They was aware with all this. And like I said, something comes up with this fire sign man. And he's definitely well-known, well-connected. Going into if he's still alive right now, yes, he's still alive. He's still breathing. Okay. The energy that comes up a lot with this man is Ohio. Okay. I'm seeing Ohio. Very, very big, broad Ohio. But anyway, so it says that he was arrested. He was arrested again on over a dozen murder charges in July of 1991. Now, going into July of 1991, once again, 1991, we still got 666 again, because 6 times 1 is 6. So we still got that 666 frequency. Going into 1993, from 1990 to 1993, that was that whole 666 frequency being released into the general public. We saw a lot of, children acting out. That's when the teenagers want to start smoking cigarettes and come out, and my mom is not going to let me go to bed. She's not going to let me stay up, and they just start doing weird shit. But anyway, how ironic is that this man was convicted of 15 counts of murder? 15. 5 plus 1 is 6. In 1992, okay, which once again is still 666 because 2 times 1 is 3. And 3, 6, and 9 is the same number. So 6, he was convicted of 6 counts of murder in 6 and was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences. Once again, which is 666 again. Not to mention, okay, not to mention that he admitted to killing 2 more people when he was convicted of the 15 crimes that he committed. Going into the 2 plus 15, that comes out to 17. 7 plus 1 is what? 8. I really do feel like Jeffrey Dahmer was taught that evil ways will keep you stuck in this world and that he will come back down here and continue to do the work of his Lord, Satan. And what's coming up from even right now, the connections of even like, that energy, that occult murderous energy that's actually been documented, right? Like I told you, there was a story of a teenager. I think it was 3 teenagers committed a murder. Now they're trying to say that they had nothing to do with the murder, but people like Marilyn Manson, and I think it was another like rock and roll artist who looks very demonic as well, was helping to push the overturn of these teens, because they're alleging now that the forensic on the scene has proven that it's not these teenage boys. And I'm just like, but how ironic would that be? Like, how ironic would that be that they would believe that it's these boys, even though they don't really know who these boys are connected to, right? And I'm speaking of the law and stuff. Like, maybe these kids could say they were part of the satanic stuff, but these are white kids being arrested by white officers, okay? What would make these boys be locked up if they had no real proof that these boys are onto some real demonic shit? So I think it's so ironic that 666 comes up a lot. Even going into his apartment, where they have his pictures at ranker.com. You can type in Jeffrey Dahmer apartment photos, where they have pictures of his unbelievable, grim, and surprisingly mundane photos. And in the photo, you see a lot of crazy pictures on his wall and statues or plaques. And something that really stood out to me is that there's an image of a demonic being above his window. And I'm like, oh, what demon is that? And the first thing that came to me was Satan. Because not only on the same wall that he has this plaque of this horned looking demon, he also has Jesus. And maybe the picture's turned, upside right or flipped around to make it look like Jesus was on the ground begging for forgiveness. Okay. If you were to stack the plaque of this demonic being over the image of this Jesus, you would see it's like Jesus on the ground begging Satan for forgiveness, saying, oh my God, please help me. I'm so sorry. So anyway, very demonic, very demonic. Going into his plans of having an altar. Like, this man literally drew out an altar and how he was going to have the wall plaque. Okay, listen. Now, like I said, this is not me assuming this. This is what I found out just tonight. Like, literally before we went live. He has a drawing of the demonic wall plaque above the window. He was going to put a black table beneath that, have all the skulls of his people there. He was going to have 2 skeletons on the side of the black table with a black chair in front of it. Okay. Like I said, check out the website. They have it on there. Going into something very interesting too, that he was able to get chloroform. And I know his dad was, biochemist, whatever, chemical, engineering, whatever the hell they said he was. But I just think it's so weird how this man was able to get his hands on his shit in the 1970s. Like, girl, going into the barrel of acid too, y'all. Like, girl, how was this man carrying this barrel of like, girl. There's a lot of dark energy around all this stuff, honey. A lot of dark energy here. A lot of dark energy here. Of course, Jeffrey was very, very afraid. Not afraid, but he was very concerned about what people thought about him. Okay, going into this too, something comes up even right now while we're talking. Something comes up between a couple. Like there's a couple, and if I had to describe them, and I do think these people are alive still too. They're older now. If they were still alive, they would probably be about 87. That's the number I'm saying, 86, 87. But the woman is very slender, odd looking in the face. At this time, I would see her with long hair. The ends are curled up inside, Caucasian woman. And the man is a heavy set, not overweight. We'll say a heavy set, also white male, but he's dark haired. This woman is like a dirty blonde. This man is like a dark haired man. And she's connected with legal, but in the sense of like in the background, like court. It's something with like the courts. And then this man is directly connected to sheriff, like something like that, something big, something with legal, law enforcement. And either way, something sexually went on with that. Something sexually went on with that. Where I even think this is where Jeffrey got introduced into his likingness of black men, because that comes up. And kind of like a cocoa swinging sexual thing, white couple interested in a hung black, whatever. Anyway, so that's just what I'm seeing with that. And yeah, it's so much shit that comes up. Like I even think that there's somebody who's not talking. I know they talk about the neighbor stuff. I've not seen the documentary or the series that they have right now on Netflix, but there is someone that also knew a lot, saw a lot, didn't mention anything because they felt like they should mind their own business. And of course, this never came out clearly. Okay, at least that's what I'm feeling. This never came out, but they know a lot. And this was also a woman, an elderly woman. And this woman is giving me, yeah, this woman is giving me like very racial ambiguous. Like, yeah, this is giving me like a very, like, yeah, like mama has some Spanish background. Mama has some European background. I'm not seeing no black, so this is definitely like a Latin woman or biracial Latin, Hispanic white woman. But she saw a lot of stuff, and like I said, she kind of thought it was let me mind my business, let me keep it to myself. And also going into her even knowing that Jeffrey was connected to law enforcement, going into the allegations allegedly, because once again I'm saying what I'm feeling, what I'm saying, that Jeffrey knew one of the officers that actually let the boy go, the Connorite guy. Jeffrey knew one of these guys, and when I say know him personally, like personally, like probably going into connections of like schooling, going into outside of schooling, but definitely Jeffrey knew this guy. And going into white supremacy. This is a white man asking these officers, to release this Asian man to him. And they were down for the program. They were down with the program. And of course, going into, just some nasty shit, honey. Like now I'm seeing in peroxide, I'm smelling peroxide, just a lot of weird shit. And how the Milwaukee people helped to cover this up somewhat. Something that I want to pull too is going into Tracy. Jeffrey Dahmer was exposed by Tracy. I don't remember exactly his last name, but I know his name was Tracy. And Tracy was alleging that he was not a homosexual, that he actually, was hit up by Jeffrey at a bar with his brother and his friend about taking photos. His brother and his friend was not really interested, but he's like, hey, I can make some money. Now, something's very interesting with that, because I do feel like Tracy was a homosexual. Out and about, no, because I do think it was something like, him not wanting to be condemned for his lifestyle. But I do feel like this individual is homo. Like, this man was very fond of other men. But once again, going into the discreetness only when he was in the mood. And even going into, like I said, going into the mood, going into him and Jeffrey crossing paths prior to this, I do feel like he knew Jeffrey for sure at that point, but something is linked with him and Jeffrey once again going into Ohio. Something is coming up with that. And that's how these two are connected. Because I even was seeing something a couple of weeks ago where a lady was saying something about Tracy met Jeffrey in a mall. And I'm like, where did that story come from? Because I'm pretty sure when I saw that news court case thing years ago, I want to say like maybe 6-7 years ago, they had a video clip on YouTube where they were showing the case, and I'm pretty sure he said he was at a bar. And then I'm also going into this too, like, so Jeffrey didn't go to a gay bar, he went to a straight bar to get these men. So like I said, there's just a lot of conflicting stories, based on hearsay and she say, he say, she say. And like I said, there's just a lot of tea around this stuff. And once again, going into the occult stuff, going into the, the connections of human trafficking, children trafficking. I think it still goes on. I think it's still going on in Wisconsin. I think it's a lot of it going on. Once again, maybe there's some type of passage, because I'm seeing even like a drawn out map right now, like Lincoln, once again, Wisconsin, Ohio, kind of looping its way around. I'm seeing a little bit of Tennessee there. And of course, I don't have access to the map right now physically, but I'm saying what I'm seeing spiritually. And then something linking to Georgia, the very outskirts of Georgia, like very much the borderline of Georgia and Florida. Very, very, very interesting. And I was even thinking this for a minute too, that Tracy was implanted there. And I'm going to even go into this too right now, because of course, like I said, I use cards as tools. I get the impression, and the cards confirm what I'm saying. And so I was even thinking for a minute too, that Tracy was an implant sent in to stop Jeffrey, because now it becomes a very egotistical, limited. Like, you were meant to do A, B, C, D, F, G, and now you're becoming addicted to it. You were meant to take out one or two people because people are connected to some fucked up ass shit. Once again, going back into lineage stuff, ancestry, these supremacists, Nazis, energy. We're just going to keep our white supremacy, not really wanting certain groups of people in and around their business, playing like good cop, bad cop. And once again, he was supposed to take out only 2 people, 3 people, and he became, addicted to it, and it became more and more and more. So anyway, I want to see Tracy being an implant of some sort. Very, 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 very crazy. Okay, there's a fire sign woman that comes up in the mix. I don't think that Tracy was an implant. And according to the cards, he's not an implant, but like I said, that's an idea that came to me, that this man was some type of implant. There was definitely some evil shit going on here. And like I said, there's a fire sign woman here, and she comes across as, I'm helping with something. I'm not sure if Tracy has a sister. I'm not sure if Tracy had a female friend that was also with him while he was interacting with Jeff before this thing actually happened. But she comes up involved in this. And the card that comes up between all this is the devil's at work. Caution. This could also goes into some type of black magic being done. Okay. Of course, the first card to come up is 7 hearts. And of course, I like to clarify with y'all what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. It is the broken promise card. It is the trickery card. And then right next to that, we also have the Joker card. So once again, we definitely know there was some fucked up energy behind this whole thing. And Jeffrey definitely wanted to take Tracy out. But there's a woman that is involved with this. That is the link between Jeffrey and Tracy. Okay. And I would like to know if this has ever been spoken about, or will it be spoken about? Because I do feel like Tracy is alive right now. He is alive right now. I do feel like he's alive right now. So going into, like I said, going into the energy, who? Oh God. Are there any direct connections with Jeffrey and anybody in current pop culture that has influenced us and is still influencing us? Because you know that there are rappers coming out saying that they were in the same, well, one rapper, and it was almost like a sexual, love fling there, girl. What was his name? Lyric, no, Life Jennings. He wanted me to sing for him. So I want to know, is there anybody that outside of prison that Jeffrey is connected to, associated with, that is influencing pop culture right now that we're not aware of? Oh, yes, there is. Oh, 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 oh. There is a air sign man here. And the air sign I think this man is a older man now. He's blonde hair originally. Okay. I do feel like this man plays with his hairstyle. I don't know if this is a dye. I don't know if this is a wig, but this man plays with his hair. But either way, the air sign I'm getting here, this man is a Libra. Okay. This man is a Libra. He's currently in pop culture. He's definitely invested in many, many businesses, going into some type of agency. This man has also been married twice publicly. And uh yeah, that's a little, yeah, there's something that comes up with the month of October. There's something that comes up with the month of October between Jeffrey and this man. But like I said, this man is definitely known in the industry. And this is a Libra sign male. He is Caucasian appearing. And like I said, he's definitely been married 2 times. And the second marriage is a horrible marriage. Okay. Going into that, is there anything about this case that people are really not aware of? People don't really question, people don't really think of. Is there a reason why people are keep pushing this Jeffrey, I want to say Jeffree Star, but Jeffrey Dahmer energy? They keep respinning this narrative of this type of energy, and we know it's demonic. Okay, once again, going into the teachings of Aleister Crowley, going into the teachings of Rudolph, going into the teachings of Anton LaVey. Like, I don't see no direct connection with Anton LaVey, um, Antoine LaVey, and Jeffrey, but this man definitely was into the Rudolphs, Pasquales, and the Aleister Crowleys, and he was really, really fascinated with genitalia. Even going into the necromancy stuff, like, something comes up with this with a dog. There was a family dog, okay? And I find this very crazy because I don't know if this has been public or not, but there was a family, they had a family dog. There was a family dog. And Jeffrey did some very abominational things with this dog. Even to where this dog, okay, was taken out by Jeffrey. Okay. Jeffrey being into the animal stuff, Jeffrey taking this animal, doing some things, the animal passing away, and Jeffrey really being into the carcass of this animal and doing some very grotesque things with it. And damn, like, this dog was a Rottweiler dog. This dog, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Cujo, and I don't think that was the dog's name. I think I'm seeing Cujo, and I'm seeing this dog because this dog was a Rottweiler dog. Okay, and he did some things with this dog, and this really sparked his curiosity with a lot of, it like fed that evil ass spirit around him. It fed it. But anyway, unknown energy around this case. Okay, that no one is really talking about. I don't know what year this was, but Jeffrey met a guy when he was 20. And this guy is an earth sign guy. Okay. Earth sign guy, very gentle. Okay. Very gentle. I think this man is alive too. He did not murder this guy. But going into this, they were very, very friendly, created a great friendship. And something weird came up. There was a girl, and I think this girl liked Jeffrey, but I don't think Jeffrey was into this woman. But something happened between Jeffrey, this guy, and this woman. And when this guy found out about the situation, he was pissed. And like I said, I do think this guy is still alive right now. I do not believe this man is deceased. Going into something with that relationship ending, he actually ended up breaking up with his girlfriend shortly after this when he found out that the girlfriend was into Jeffrey, but Jeffrey wasn't into this girl. The guy assumed that Jeffrey was having, this before I guess the guy knew that Jeffrey was into men. But anyway, and like I said, I don't think Jeffrey was into men like this man was gay. I think he was one of those people that was not really sexually attracted to people. Just so happened he became sexually, magically into men. Not he was into sucking on the peen, getting done. It was more so he had a fetish of anal. He had a fetish of the penis. He had a fetish of the male body, the male anatomy. And it's very, very interesting and very, very, y'all, when I tell you there's so much stuff coming up right now, a name that I got is Peggy. Okay. A name came out, Peggy. Okay. Being connected to this man, being this woman that, 20 years old, like, I don't know what year it is. Y'all can do your research on that and figure that out. Peggy. Okay. And this man, going into his nickname. Okay. I'm seeing a J. Okay. And the real name is, we're going to stick with J, because this name that I'm seeing, it's like, this is a nickname, but we're going to stick with J. But definitely everyone knew this man as this J name. But Peggy comes up, which I feel like that's the woman. Peggy is the girl that was into Dahmer. And, the friend was like, yeah, you got to go, bitch. What else? Something that I also found interesting, that I was kind of doing a little bit of light research on. So going into, and I want to get into this first. Hold on. Going into and breaking down the names, okay? The names of Jeffrey Dahmer. So Jeffrey is a masculine name deriving from German and English origin. The name translates to pledge of peace or God's peace. And we talked about this before. When they say God, they're not always talking about Jehovah, Jireh. They're not always talking about Adonai. When they're saying God, Satan is also God. So going even to that, it also means in German district or traveler. I do feel like Jeffrey believes in reincarnation, and I do feel like this man really felt like evil ways ties him in this world, and he will definitely come back. That's why this man was very egotistical with his murders, and he was not remorseful about it, because he's like, baby, I got a place, regardless of what happens. But either way, honey, definitely a traveler. And it also says that a twist on the variant Jeffrey, but it's spelled Geoffrey. It said that Jeffrey, spelled Jeffrey, became a family favorite in the homes from the mid 1950s to the late 1970s. And I also find it ironic that this man started killing people in the late 70s when this name became not so popular. So I also think that's a little weird too. And going into spirit and stuff. Now, going into his last name, Dahmer, it is also a German surname of Da Men. And it is from a group of people who came from the town called Dahme, Dam. It's called Dam. It is the name of several places in Germany. It was also a baptismal name meaning the son of Dom, a pet form of Adam. Once again, what comes up for me, and I do feel like names mean things to people. I do feel like when you name your children or you name yourself, you're giving yourself a certain type of energy. A pet form of Adam, what exactly does that mean? Because my interpretation of a pet form of Adam is not saying it's a cute name. It's basically saying Adam, but it's a fun name of Adam. It's actually saying something like, you know, animalistic, going into maybe his cravings for cannibalism, and of course going into the teachings of Anton LaVey and the occult and stuff, honey. We won't get into that. But they were into that shit, girl. They even got forums and groups on there right now, y'all, where people are actively doing that shit. So I just think that that's weird that his name is Jeffrey Dahmer. There was talks about this man possibly not really having the name Jeffrey Dahmer, and I do want to put it the rest that I do believe that is his name. I do feel like that is his name, and I do feel like once again going into his family history, there's stuff being left out about his lineage. Maybe some people can come forward who are in Germany that still have that name, could verify if they're directly related to, Jeffrey Dahmer. But I would like to know what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer's father. I would like to know what exactly are their ancestors connected with, because something comes up even with this now, like royalty and like bloodlines that got cut off. Something comes up with royalty, European royalty, and bloodlines being cut off, and Jeffrey Dahmer lineage is that bloodline that got cut off. Okay. Kind of like, the have and have nots. Like that's the type of energy I get with that. So I would like to really know, once again, who is Jeffrey connected to? Why is there really no stories about his lineage? And another thing that this brings up for me, y'all, and this is so crazy because I got to talk about this now. Fantasia Barrino, okay? Something comes up right now. Fantasia Barrino, right? They have a last name Barrino. And Barrino, to me, sounds very Italian, okay? And I believe a lot of people say it sounds Italian. But going into people I know who speaks Italian, who still lives in Italy, who's descendant of Italian, they said it sounds very French, like, Barano, Baroness, whatever, like Baron. But it's spelled a different way. And I'm just like, I don't know if I believe that. But anyway, we did our research and we found out that the Barrino family, allegedly, the name first popped up in North Carolina in the 1880s. And then it appeared in Europe in the 1920s. And I keep telling y'all this because this goes into two stories of how people in America are doing DNA tests and they're finding out that they're like 1% European, that they have lineage in Cameroon, blah, blah, blah. And I keep telling y'all that they were taking people from North Carolina, South Carolina, these ports, even like Staten Island, no, Long Island, places like this. They were taking people from these areas and they were taking them across the water. Like it was some type of exchange. And so I find it kind of ironic that this is a made up last name. There's no prior research. And I think they said there's like only 4 people in America with this name, or don't quote me on that. Y'all can do your research on that. But we were doing this digging a couple of weeks ago. And I just find it so ironic that this is what this is giving me. Like there's a secret life with that lineage. That's the whole point of me saying about Fantasia Barrino. There's a secret life with the Barrino lineage, and Barrino, and what we know as Barrino, was a name put on these people to protect them from something. And going into the Dahmer, well, I think a lot of people are like, listen, I don't think Jeffrey Dahmer's his name. I feel like, some type of made up. I think that's why they're feeling that energy, because it's something with that too. Like something was giving, once again, they gave the name Dom. It's a regional part of Germany. So of course, to me, it sounds like an adoptive last name. It does not sound like a last name that started in 1320 and now everybody has this name. It feels like some type of made up name. Like we're gonna call our house Mugler Extrava, and now people have the name Mugler Extrava, and 100 years from now they're gonna say the name was first used in New York in 2022. So it's like I just feel like that's what this is, and it's a little creepy because this goes into a lot of stuff about the past coming up, right? Like the ancestors being into some demonic, fucked up ass shit, and it coming through the bloodline, and it manifested in Jeffrey Dahmer. And of course, the father is in disbelief. And of course, the mother was in disbelief. But I guarantee you, the father, okay, if not the father, for sure, the mother knows her family lineage. And there's a reason why that shit was cut off and why it's not talked about. And like I said, I'm willing to stand corrected. If anybody who's into this whole thing could prove anything that, oh, yeah, honey, we found a family tree and his mama, Jemima, his grandmama, Jemima Hughes, Catherine Jemima Hughes, uh, you know, she anyway. I just feel like there's some fishy with that. Once again, a cutoff to some sort. Even going, if I have to say the original last name, it's something like Wilkinson, Wilmerson. It's something with a W. Okay, that's just what I'm feeling. Even going into the group that is in Milwaukee and that whole region, because I'm seeing like a stretch. Okay, I'm seeing Wisconsin, I'm seeing Illinois, I'm seeing Michigan, Wyoming, like that whole northern stretch. Well, not too far over, like Montana and shit, but people being descendants of Europe and kind of going into and settling into these regions. And once again, people being connected, because we talk about this, secret societies, secret organizations, we'll say the occult. A lot of this stuff do not leave outside of their bloodline. A lot of information does not leave out. And when it does leave out, now they bring these people in. Like, listen, this is what your last name mean. And now we found out that you're a part of this, and that. And of course, this is gonna, trigger something else down the line that I want to do that goes into missing people, in America, why they're not really sought after, because I also feel like they're also connected to that type of, trend. But anyway, very, very interesting. And that's all the energy I really want to tap into with that. There you go. Dog of Adam. There you go. A dog. Dogs eat what? Raw carcasses. Let's talk about it for a minute, honey. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he slant more young men than him in it. I think so. I think there is a lot of things, and even going into this fire sign man, Jeffrey witnessed a lot of stuff, because at first I'm like, maybe he saw something with the mama and daddy and this triggered something. No, this is deeper than him being ignored by his parents. His mom was on antidepressants. No, he had an older man, like I said, a group of people influencing him, and he witnessed a lot of stuff, drugs. He witnessed sexual abuse, animal stuff. Like he witnessed the stuff. And this, like I said, this stuff made him, grow fond, curious of stuff. And ooh, honey, this is very weird. Sex rings and shit. Oh no, honey, she was helping. Nasty bitch. There's some teasing with that. Someone knew about what was going on in that basement. They did know. They did know. The grandma knew what was going on. That fire sign man knew what was going on. But once again, and something with money too. And I'm not saying that she was paid to shut up, but going into, you know, kept happy. Like, don't worry about me, honey. What you need? I got you. You want a Coke? I got you. Yeah, don't worry about it. You need some groceries? Let's go get some butter and something with sandwiches. And just make a sandwich. Sandwiches make me feel good. Not a peanut butter and jelly, nasty ass bologna. Yeah, nasty ass bologna, lettuce, tomato. Oh no, not tomato. Lettuce, onion, like a specialty type of sandwich. Like, yeah, mama. Don't keep that over there, honey. He has been for the demons. I think his whole family has been for the demons. I think man, men, demon. I think they're all connected. They said Dom. They said man, right? Don't man sound like demon? Like, it's just too much. It's just too much with that. It's too much with that. Too much with that. Okay. Oh my God, y'all. Mm-mm. 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 I just got a real flash of the leader of the Kiss Band. The leader of the Kiss Band, the one with the long tongue. I just got a real quick flash of him right now. No, ma'am. Farouk said that the smell of rotten human flesh is unforgettable and horrific. Smells like that can be ignored and it's biohazard. It will make you sick. Well, that's, you know, you're right. So the grandmother smelled these dead bodies, but it didn't make her sick. It didn't make her question. Yeah, there's some deep shit with that, honey. Those demons took him over. That's another thing, too. I find it very crazy that this man, as I call him the man of a thousand faces, this man was a portal. Okay, this was a portal. He was used, spirits to come in and out of him. That's what he was used for. He was used for spirits to come in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Either way, this man looked different, y'all. If you look up all the images of him, he looks so different. And I believe in an interview that Tracy did, he said that his whole demeanor changed. His face changed, the shape of his face changed. Look at that interview where Tracy said he was not the man no more. Once he turned on the Exorcist movie and he was ready to get this man together, Tracy, I think it was Tracy Edwards. Yeah, it just came up. Tracy Edwards. He literally said he didn't look like the same man no more. His face looked different. And it's like, wait a minute. There was a spirit on this motherfucker. Okay, I pay attention to people. Okay, there was a spirit on this motherfucker, honey. His apartment, oh, there you go, going into 6 again. 213 is 6. Hello. What element is this demon connected to? Going into what? Because, of course, I'm sure you typed that before I looked. Going into what? Literally, this reading is very heavy. Listen, honey. Listen, honey. When I tell you I'm getting so many names, and even going into a very quick second, I heard a woman's voice when I like stopped for a minute because I was like, wait a minute. Who's that talking? But I'm like, bitch, it's 11 o'clock at night, and nobody will not be talking that loud outside, for one, and for two, there's nobody in my apartment. But I heard a very very feminine voice say something. They were mumbling something, not murdering, mumbling something. Okay, I'm not watching any of that dahmer shit. I'm not either, honey. Una mestiza, she knew some tea. Mama was minding her business. To go into this too, Mama was heavy chested. I'm seeing big boobs. I'm seeing a woman with glasses, and a woman that likes to, once again, she likes to watch, but she don't talk. I don't want to get to know none of my neighbors. Don't you come over and say nothing to me. I'm going to mind my business, and you mind yours. That's what I'm getting with this woman. He said in an interview he wanted to collect the skulls of the victims and create an altar, and he carried a mummified head of one of his victims in a lunchbox. He enjoyed the feeling of being evil. Oh. Girl, police found a boiling pot had men telling that Jeffrey was going to eat them things. Well, see, going into demonology believe when you eat the body parts of certain things, you become gifted. You know, back in the day, there was an occult group. I'm not going to say no name, but they felt like you will become, and even right now, from what I was told, okay, we're going to say allegedly, that there's a group of people right now that eat the eyes of cats and dogs because they feel like the eyes of the cat and dogs will give them the vision, okay, that will give them psychic vision. And I be believing it, y'all. And because even going in right now, too, because like I said, it's an allegation, but I really believe this stuff because even going into right now, there's a trend of people eating things they never ate before, and they don't find it disturbing. People out here eating whole ducks and shit. Like, hey, y'all, I'm here to eat a raw egg and just sucking it down, not thinking twice about it, bitch. Like, wait a minute. So y'all don't mind eating cat and dog eyes neither, huh? Nasty ass bitch. Life weird ass. I know that's right, honey. Yes, Shane. He mumbled a weird chat out loud to himself. I'm convinced he knew something about black magic. Wait, who? Who? Jeffrey was definitely into bestiality. He was definitely into bestiality. Look at this man in this picture. Yes. There you go. We're going into anal sex too. I like I said, we'll use that for another thing because I don't want to get too far into that. But there's a reason why a lot of people are into anal sex, and a lot of them don't even know why they're into anal sex. You saw some people say, well, anal sex, reverses the chakras and it deals with demons. Well, girl, I guess we're all demonic then because semen, another word for semen is demon. Hello? No shade. No shade, honey. Semen demon. And if you take the S, semen, hello, remove the S and put the D. Like semen comes from a dick. Okay? Demon, semen demons, the spawn of Satan, girl. What they call semen? Spunk. Hello? What they call semen? Sperm. You cannot sit here and tell me that spawn, sperm, and spunk is not all the same fucking word, bitch. You can convince somebody else, honey. Hello? He was Asmodee's piece. I heard that. Dog of Adam. Oh, hell no. He felt nothing. He knew he was a threat to society. He was very afraid of society, though. That's why I'm like, going into him channeling people. And I see this as like, in order for me to loosen up and become demonic, I need to drink alcohol. I need to get drunk. I need to meet these people when they're in their lowest points too, so that my spirit can meet up with their spirit. It kind of reminds me of this individual I know that's a sexual pervert. Like they don't tell people their tea, but they get drunk or they get people drunk, and then they kind of push themselves onto people. Well, he's not going to turn me down. And it's like, well, girl, if he would have knew the tea, whether he was drunk or not, he would have said, no, thank you, baby, I'll pass. Okay, well, tell him when he's sober that you're into him and see if what he gonna tell you, what he gonna say to you. So that's what that's giving me. Like, daddy literally was like, let me drink to invoke this spirit, and now I'm risky and now I'm bold. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it, darling. His grandmother name does sound black. I know that's right, Jemima. The story Peter Jenkins told was a little sus. I do believe they were trying to holla. They were. All those people were homo, girl. They can all sit here and lie and play this other games, girl. What I'm sensing, what I'm feeling, there are two guys that were not homosexual or even curious to being homosexual. Uh, I believe that Jeffrey lured these men by saying that he was going to get them some blow. And these men were not ethnic men either. Okay. These men are, they appear to be, we're going to say light. They were not black. We're going to say they're non black. Two men, non black. And these men were not homo in any way, shape, or form. They were not sexually attracted. They were not into him. They weren't even alluding to that. But Jeffrey said that he could connect them with some blow. And that's to make them bite the bait. Okay. The one who Jeffrey was going to build an altar to. What demon? Satan. Satan. She was a real observer. Yes, honey. This woman is no longer here neither. Oh my God, you're absolutely right. Jeffrey Dahmer was a portal. He was definitely allowing energy in and out. This is why this motherfucker knew to watch The Exorcism. Why you need to watch The Exorcism about Emily Rose? First of all, that's my thing. Why you need to watch Emily Rose, poor Emily Rose, on this damn screen possessed by a demon spirit for you to fucking do demonic activity when there's other movies you could have watched? Hello, hello. Can we talk about it for a minute? What, girl? Mm-mm. Yeah, that's common in a lot of ancient cultures. Summoning the flesh of others to consume their powers. That's real nasty. It is. And that's the whole idea of cannibalism too. Cannibalism, from what I've read on, some groups would, eat, black people because they have groups. We don't want to make this a racial thing, but they have groups of white cannibals who would eat body parts and bodily fluids of ethnic people because they wanted the strength and vitality of these individuals. Like, damn, they can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And bitch, I could barely work that long because I get tired. And even going into black people, there are black people, indigenous or not, around this world who's thought the same thing too. You know what? These white people have a privilege. They're bigger and better. Let me dismember them and let's eat their brain, so we can get their intelligence. Let's get their fingers so we can, yeah. Very disturbing, honey. Very disturbing. Traveling demons ran train on him. No, no. Debbie. No, they don't. Debbie, 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 stop it. Alcohol. I know that's right. Alcohol. You said it. He needed to build that venomous momentum for his rituals. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. All that is ritual, very ritualistic, right? Very ritualistic, and that's what caused this too. It was yeah, that's what caused this, y'all. Really, like sex magic, right? This man was definitely trained in the sex cult, like I said, which is connected to sex trafficking, that is still going on here in America. But that was his whole point of doing this stuff too. Sex magic, energy, like you said, building up the momentum. And this man was like, okay, I need to, there's a process I need to go through. So I need to drink. I need to get them on my good side. And then I need to channel this energy to this. Because once again, going into people, him going into the room and then him coming out of the room, he was doing more than just playing that movie and getting, get going. Like I said, there's something going on here too with a book. And I'm gonna say Little Black Book because that's my impression of it. There's a book that the people who investigated his apartment actually found too. And this book detailed a lot of stuff. And even had, and see, that's something too where I'm just like, I just hate situations like this because they want to talk about, they don't want to talk about Satanist because his case is not connected to that. But other cases, they will say, oh, this is a satanic ritual. But it's like, why are y'all leaving that out with this situation? Why y'all not exposing the rituals that he did? Why you not sitting out here dropping the name of the books that was in his possession? The workings that he was learning, because this man just didn't come up with this. Like going into necrophilia, girl, nobody wasn't freely talking about that. Like, girl, like this man was taught this shit. Going into the techniques of taking off the head and freezing the head. He was taught this. And of course, they're going to say, well, the dad was a biochemist and the dad showed him how to preserve bones and stuff. I'm sure they're going to say that, right? But I'm like, honey, something outside of that fueled that, though. Outside of that, something fueled that. And I really do feel like, once again, that this man is connected to not the entertainment industry heavy. Just so happened the man is in the entertainment industry now, but he's definitely connected with a lot of people. As I mentioned before, Philadelphia comes up big. Ohio comes up big. Okay, definitely connected to people in these places, honey. Okay, Jeffrey's daughter. What? Jeffrey daughter? He got a daughter? No. Would sometime ride back and forth or side to side and mumble a bizarre chant out loud to himself, surviving victims told press. Oh, well, I feel like he was pulling in that energy. That was him telling them, you can come in, you can come in, you can come in. Let me tell y'all a very, very quick story, which I think is very, very unnerving for me. And I was going to save this for 7 days of Halloween because I want to do something about where I'm telling y'all stories about Halloween. But I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to be done because, of course, going into the adult industry, I do feel like the adult industry is connected to, stuff like this too. I would love to know, they said that Jeffrey Dahmer was offering his victims $100 to do these photo shoots, right? And then, of course, they did not get paid because he would murder them. But something ironic that I found out is that a lot of the porn businesses up until the early 2000s, they were also offering their porn stars $100 to do scenes with them. And something came up for me, and I'm not saying that Jeffree Star was connected to this in any way, shape, or form. We're not saying that because I'm not trying to, stir up any hate between anybody. But something came up about LatinoGuys.com. And I find it interesting that there was allegations that they were also offering these straight identifying men $100. And also these straight identifying men in many of these films in the early 90s Okay, they said he was busted in 1991, but these men who were filming these videos clearly was born in 1950s and 1960s, like Jeffrey. And these people were in Philly, these people were in Jersey and New York. So, and like I said, this is from the scenes that I saw. I don't know for sure if this is true or not. This is from the scenes I saw. So, with that being said, how ironic that these people are also drinking beer. Jeffrey would give these people, his clients, beer. And in these scenes, these guys were drinking beer, straight guys too. And they'll be doing these acts with this guy, not even knowing that they were being recorded. That's the first thing. The second thing is, why hasn't none of these guys have been exposed except for one guy? And y'all know him, Eligio Bishop. He's the only straight identifying guy who been in any of these gay pornos that has been exposed and has come forward. Out of all these guys in these pornos, no other guy has been exposed. I would like to know, where are these old actors in these movies? LatinoGuys.com and all these old pornos in the 90s and early 2000s of these black and Latino men in these pornos. I would like to know where these guys are at. Are they still alive? Did they go missing? I mean, like, what's really going on here? Because I do feel like there's some type of linkage with that. Like, so I'm not saying directly LatinoGuys.com, but there's something that comes up with that. And Jeffrey, this type of sex occult type of thing. And this is connected to a lot of stuff too. It's connected to a lot of stuff, allegedly. Okay. A lot of things. So I find it very interesting. So, anyway, going into my story, okay, I was an adult entertainer, escort, and I would not advertise sex for customers because I was not interested in that. I've been a spiritual person since I can remember. Okay, I didn't really know much about who I was and how I was until about 11 years old, though, right? Of course, going into, seeing spirits and hearing stuff and feeling stuff, I just thought it was my everyday life, even though people called me retarded and special needs and stuff. I just thought it was normal. I didn't know, oh, wow, this is something different. Oh, girl, this is special. Yes. Anyway, so I just, I became acquainted with spirits and how to call them by their name and what spirit is over this and that and that and this and that. So I know when I'm ever challenged with certain things, I can call those spirits out. And so, anyway, 11 years old on up, meeting people in high school, freshman in high school, I learned about a lot of stuff. So, like I said, I just was never a fan of befriending a lot of people and let alone having sex with people, because sex is, that's why they say shacking up. In the religious community, they say shacking up. Shacking, shackles, very similar in words and very, very come from the same word. So I was not a fan of shacking up my spirit with a lot of people because I feel like these sexual intimate relationships create soul ties, and even though you're doing cleanses and stuff, there's a process you have to really go through, like a detox process that takes years to remove these people's energies off of you, right? You hook up with one person for one day, and that one person could take 2 years to clean that energy off. I'm just giving out examples. Like, you don't meet with them, have a sexual cleanse, and their energy is off of you. Like, it's on you for days and years to come. Same thing with spiritual readings and stuff too. Like, you have to really prepare yourself. So I've always known that. And so, anyway, I used to see a lot of people, sometimes at night, sometimes, daytime. But at nighttime, people are like, girl, they're going to think you're a prostitute because ain't nobody open at night. But I'm like, wait a minute, girl, people are out here working and a guy is married and he needs to sneak out. Like, he's going to sneak out at nighttime. So, bitch, if somebody call me and they seem legit and not ethnic, I'm going to see them. When I say ethnic, not ghetto, okay? And I'm going to see them. And so, of course, this is where intuition came in out for me, right? I would get on the phone and I would have to, tap into that energy to say, okay, this guy energy is off. I'm not going to see him. Or, this guy seems cool. I'll see him. So anyway, and I had people come over at nighttime that was like doctors and teachers and stuff. Really, really amazing too. But anyway, and I would not see people like past 3 a.m. And before 11 o'clock unless you paid an extra fee. But there was a guy in particular, and this guy was like cool, right? Like, he called me and everything was cool. And this guy was, an ethnic man. We're not going to go into color and all that stuff, but he was an ethnic man. And so he gets there, and I used to have the setup ambient. I would have candle lights, a humidifier, and a sea salt lamp, right, to keep the mood up. And then sometimes there'll be like the TV on with Pandora on or something. I was really big on Pandora, but anyway, or there'll be a video on because sometimes they'll want to see a video to relax them. And when I say video, like ocean waters and shit. But anyway, this guy in particular, he came and he wanted to, like, first of all, he was like, first of all, I've never done this before. I saw you. I didn't read that you were a TS until after, you told me to reread your profile. And I was like, wow. And I have to go see this girl because I have to make sure that she wasn't, I want to make sure that you're not faking the font. Like you're using a girl's picture and claiming that you're trans and I get here, you're a whole nother person. So anyway, this man coming, I knew something was fishy with that anyway. But he comes and I'm just like feeling like, okay, everything is cool. Like everything felt good. There was no weird tea, no weird vibes. And then he asked me, do I party and stuff? I'm like, no, honey, I do massages. There's no point in partying, even going into clients and shit. Why would you even ask that? So he was like, I want to see porno. And I'm like, why? I want to see it. Now I did tell him this. I said, just so you know, I want to reiterate, and I will do this with everybody. I do not have sexual relations for money because at this point, anyway, Grove, even if it was a sexual thing, he wouldn't have known at this point because Daddy could have been still police. Okay, Daddy didn't take off his clothes or none of that. So Daddy is sitting there, and the light of the computer, I'm just sitting there watching this man because he's looking at his porno and nothing sexual is going on, y'all. He already paid for his time and everything too. But I'm just sitting there looking at this man, looking at this porno. And I'm noticing that this man eyes is like stuck on the screen, but they're like twitching. And so I'm not gonna send him because I'm like, okay, maybe he's just amazed by this video. Y'all, he's twitching with the eyes. And then literally I'm seeing his body go into convulsion. And it's probably like 10 minutes in. And at this point, I jump up because I'm like, wait a minute, bitch. You did not come in here high. And now you're about to pass away in my motherfucking living room. Anyway, I noticed that after this man did whatever was going on, and it took me a while to catch his tea too. After he left, two things happened. My salt lamp light blew out. The second thing was I felt very drained, y'all. We didn't do nothing. I felt very drained. But this man was like, oh, okay. Thank you so much for the time and session. Like it was a whole nother person. The demeanor was different. I ended up having a dream about this guy that night. And that's where I was like freaked the fuck out because I didn't really think about all this stuff until after the fact, like the next day. Like, wait, what went down last night? Like that was a little weird. So he comes, and like I said, he's sounding very different, very calm, very relaxed. Come in, he's sitting there watching the screen. His eyes are twitching. I don't know if he was having like some type of orgasm. I don't know. But to make long story short, something was coming up with sexual, like this man trained himself on how to ejaculate without touching himself. And that was not the creepy part that I'm getting into. The creepy part is when I had this dream about this man first of all presented to me as a whole nother person. It felt like his energy, but he presented to me as a whole nother person. Like this man was probably much younger than this guy, appeared differently, even a whole different race of what this guy was. And this man was like, I want to see what it's like to have women's clothing on. I want to see what it's like to feel heels, to have heels on and leggings on, and I want to feel it touch my body. And of course, I'm directing him in the dream like, okay, well, here's the heels, here's the clothes. Now these are clothes and shit I wouldn't even wear. But when this man was putting these clothes on, these clothes were so tight that he would like move his body a certain way to where he would, do things with himself. Anyway, so I would see this man go from this image being dressed as a woman to like other young appearing man, to where I woke up traumatized because the only thing I could make with that connection was this man has some spirits on him. This man was very experienced sexually. This man does some very fucked up shit with younger boys. And going into his curiosity with even trans and him even coming like, yeah, I'm not really into the trans thing. I'm only into boys and women, like boy, young boys and women. And the fact that he was like, oh, this is a fetish. This is fun. I was curious to dress up as a woman, and this being is dressed as a woman. It was just some weird shit, y'all. And even to where, and I think there was correlation with this too, because I was having a conversation with somebody at that time. His name was, I'm not gonna say his name because somebody might know him from Stockton that's watching. But the guy was telling me stuff like, people be getting on these sites and acting like they're young people to see who else is into young people. And they try to get them caught up and stuff, right? And I'm just like, wait, what? And then there was this thing too that happened a while after that. If y'all do your research in Stockton, where they were busting guys in sex work and they were affiliated with little boys and stuff. Y'all gotta look that shit up. But this was about a year before this shit went down. But I was so creeped the fuck out, right? And they didn't show all the mugshots. Everybody got arrested for this too. But I was so disturbed and going into this because when this man was sitting here watching the screen and his eyes were doing it was doing, I felt like when his eyes were like doing all that jumping, jattering shit, like he was like chatting, like chanting shit to himself in his mind. And it was releasing something within his body. And once again, because he trained himself on how to, ejaculate in secret. And I do feel like there's some type of fetish with that because I knew another guy, that you all may know too. He's in the industry in the East Coast, and daddy, he likes to do that without you knowing. And I think serial killers do shit like that too, by the way. I do think that's serial killer trait. Because going into like the Oval House, the young boy in there was doing that shit. But this guy, he used to like to do that shit without you knowing. Like, let's say you're eating, he'll do it without, anyway, just some weird shit. So I just thought that was weird, y'all, and I was just very uncomfortable with that. And even going into, like I said, the next day and how all this shit came out a year later of this sting that was out. I was just like, I saw that shit, and it was traumatizing. Going into the spirits that he was pulling on, like I was like, this man was tapping into some energy. That's why that fucking lava lamp blew out. Okay, when he got up and he motherfucking left, bitch. Shortly after that, I went to go fucking turn that bitch off, and the shit blew out. And I said, no, bitch, we need to cleanse this house from top to bottom, bitch. I remember, bitch, I got some Murphy oil. I was mopping my floors. I put boric acid and fucking eggshells, bitch, and I was cleaning my house from top to bottom. I was like, no, bitch, this energy got to go. And that's when I really started thinking to myself, too, I need to really start screening people. Like, if I get some weird vibes from you, I don't want you as the client. Moving forward, that's how I moved on. That's how I dealt with people. Like if I felt like something was weird with you, maybe you had a conversation and just something didn't seem right. Oh yeah, bitch, I'm being prejudiced, honey. You're bringing that energy over here, honey. Okay? Hello. So anyway, that was my encounter with that. Y'all very, very uncomfortable, very, very creepy. And even going into me having dreams about this man and the youngness and him looking different and him like morphing into all these young people and shit. And when that, like I said, when that thing came out a year and a half later of them doing a sting, I think it was called like Halloween something. They were busting these guys. I was like, wait a minute. Is this connected to that guy? Because that's a little weird that I would have this. Yeah, that was just weird for me. And kind of like a 360. Like, yeah, this probably that sick ass motherfucker. He probably was involved in this shit. He probably started this shit too. Anyway, that's that. Jeffrey had offspring? No, he didn't. Did he? No, he didn't. No. Oh, he didn't have kids. Jeffrey, like I said, I don't see him being into women sexually. I don't see him being into men sexually, but he was more sexually into men than he were women, if that makes sense. Like I see him as only into men sexually for fetish. And like I said, I'm not seeing Yeah, I'm not seeing like him being the bottom. We'll say that. I'm seeing more as him being the top, him being the aggressor, and him doing everything ritualistically. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he didn't have kids. Jeffrey is one aspect of Antichrist. Oh, yes, honey. I'm honest. So glad that he's gone too. I know that's right, honey. There's more of him, though, honey. They California have a killer now. Like, October energy's been wild. Girl, I know that's right, honey. Hey, any fellow that was saying they babies take my head. Yeah, you said it. Creepy. It's sad, I know. He left a weird energy imprint there. Ooh. Even right now, y'all, when I'm done with this, honey, I'm about to use my goat, frankincense, and myrrh soap, honey. I'm about to rinse myself off right now because I feel like, wow, like I feel like I'm in the slumbers energetically. Like I said, there's so much tea coming on. I want to take out my little story to kind of shake that tea, but I'm still feeling it and seeing a lot of weird stuff and, mask and sexual. Oh my God, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I gotta go, honey. That's some different ass shit. You think he was pulling your energy? I think he definitely was. And if he was not pulling my energy, he was definitely tapping into something. And I became drained because I was tapping into what he was doing. Like sometimes people, and I meet people, and I tell you this, like I'm really working on it. Like I purchased some stones from this crystal place not too far from me, and one of the stones I got was called the seven stone, which is like amethyst, rose, smoky quartz. It's like all these stones put together. And I'm gonna start wearing that on me with my moonstone and doing a whole ritualistic thing with it. I made some waters. We haven't talked about that stuff yet, but I made some waters that's charged with amethyst and rose quartz and moonstones and a whole bunch of other exotic stones. And I use these waters to rinse off my hair and my hands and stuff. Anyway, so I want to really start incorporating this stuff in my everyday um day to day life because I meet with people, y'all, and I really be tapping into people's stuff. And sometimes it's like a lot. It's like a lot to where like it's like, damn, like why? Like why do I need to get this? Like why? Like why am I seeing this? Why am I feeling this? Like, and it's creepy. It's really creepy. It's really creepy too. And so even going into like people that I met and I dealt with and they're sitting here trying to play it off cool like I'm normal. Hey, my name is Tommy, how are you? And then instantly I tap into that energy, and like I said, I'm not doing it intentionally, but I get that energy and I'm like, no honey, you've done some sexual things to some minors. Like, bitch, I can't fuck with you. And at that point too, like I said, I know what I'm feeling and what I'm gonna punch this man. So, bitch, at this point, bitch, when we're done with our little meeting, I gotta go. We're done. I'm keeping it moving. And that's just what I see. So, like I said, it gets to be a little too much, and it racks my emotions sometimes. Once again, why I keep my distance from people, and try to stay focused and meditate and stuff. Because, like I said, it's too much sometimes. Like, bitch, like people are fucked up, y'all. Like they may look normal, and that's something I'm gonna leave with that, but people be really fucked up. Another good example, I went to a store. There was a guy there. He was fixing the store up. I'm having a conversation. Maybe this guy, because he's a predator, and predators are very drawn to, hyper sensitive people. Once again, going into, me projecting a strong, dominant energy because people like to prey on people like me energetically. So I project a strong type of predator repellent energy. And I never will ever apologize for that or take that away. Because some people are like, oh, bitch, she's rough, she's rude, she's disrespectful. No, bitch, I'm not. Anyway, so this guy, Asian guy to be exact, he was Asian, attractive looking, long hair. His hair was in a ponytail. And I didn't know who or what he was, but we were sitting there talking. I'm talking with the clerk of the store. And daddy just kept looking over at me. Mind you, I had on a mask with shades, y'all. So daddy could not see me fully. Right. So I was kind of like hiding. So I'm talking to this girl, and literally, daddy is like looking. And then he makes his way over there and he's acting like he's going to help her bag. So I jokingly say, oh, you're going to help her bag? And he said, oh, no, honey, she works for me. or it was something along that lines. Like she works for me, like, but not directly like that. It was indirectly. Like, oh no, honey, I'm higher up. I'm a corporate, honey. So it was like, okay, so what you over here for then? Like this is what I'm thinking. Like, what you over here for then? Then he's like, oh, I was wearing cat ears. Oh, so you're into cats? Like you're a cat lady or something? And I said, no, I'm just, I like wearing cat because at this point, y'all, I'm picking up this energy. Like daddy saw those ears and he saw these big boobs and he said sex kitten. And daddy was having all these ideas within his mind. And I was getting those ideas, y'all, to where this man did not even have an ID badge on. And I was on the phone with one of my sisters, and they can attest to this. I was on the phone with one of my sisters. This man had no badge on, y'all. I literally said his name when he walked away. I was like, yeah, you have a good day, Paul. Thank you. His name was Paul. The girl was like, boom, 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 and then of course, y'all, I'm putting my shit in the cart, and he said, "How did you know my name?" And I said, "Because of your name." No, but you have no name, no name, no. He had no damn name badge. I literally was like, I don't know. Like it just came to me. I was like, Paul. Like I said, in the midst of that conversation, in the midst of me seeing all his little sexual ideas, and now I'm not gonna say he's a sexual predator where he was kidnapping women and doing weird shit, but this man was presenting like white, not white collar. Yeah, I think it is white collar. Very professional, very like, ooh, I'm bougie, blah, 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 blah. But daddy gets down in the bedroom. Like I was seeing like an extender. I was seeing a whole bunch of sexual fetishes, how he's into white women. And now he's curious about trying a black woman. And that was his whole thing about coming over to me and have the. So it was just a lot for me to where I was like, no marriage, no kids. And this man was like mid age, y'all, like 45 to 48. So I was like, girl, like I said, attractive. But I'm like, no kids, no married. And now you're asking a random stranger. And even the girl, too, y'all, mind you, when he left and I said, bye, whatever. Even the girl was all like, that was weird. Like, he normally don't talk to people, girl. Like, girl, what you sprayed on you? Jokingly. What you sprayed on you, girl? Because he normally don't come over and talk to people like that. And I was like, that's weird, huh? Girl, bye. Somebody, like I said, people be weird and I be tapping in, bitch. You bring me along, girl. I'm not saying, but I am saying because I don't like people to use me for my gifts like that. But bitch, you bring me along. You say, Mystic, I want you to know, is this guy good for me? Bring me along. I'm gonna tell you everything. You know he ain't good for you, and what he want to do with you ain't pretty. Hello, bitch. Better yet, we don't need to do that in person. Bitch, send me somebody's picture. We're gonna do. We're gonna do a. We're gonna do a $15. Oh, girl, in the honor of Jeffrey Dahmer. We're gonna do a $15 picture read. Send me a picture of a man you like or a woman you like, and ask me about her qualities and what she can provide and give you, and let me give it to you. Let me tell you what energy. Okay, they tapping into what they can do and what they cannot do. Okay. Anyway, y'all, it's time for me to go, y'all. Okay. I gotta go. Debbie, girl, the other day I'm buying groceries and get gas and head home and felt so drained. Like literally all I could do was lay in bed and nothing else. I feel like my energy was being pulled and depleted. I've been working on that. Honestly, I've been doing a lot better with that. People do that unawarely, going into handshakings and hugs and all that good stuff. I'm not a fan of that. Even people acknowledging you, hey ma'am, how you doing? You're like, hey, how you doing? Like you're exchanging energy right there. And so it could definitely drain you. People, hey girl, let me talk to you for a minute. My baby daddy said that she fucked her man and blah 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 blah. And you're just like, damn, this bitch can talk. No, mama pulling that energy. So, like I said, I'm very, very mindful of that to where even when I come home, because I tell you, I take Bella everywhere I go. So when I go see my in-person clients and when I go to grocery stores and stuff, when I step in my car, I have my Florida water there, my blue Florida water. Okay. Shout out to my good old, anyway, I won't say her name. We're going to say that for down the line. But I use my blue Florida water. Okay. I spray it around And honey, I spray myself with one of my little oil mists that I make to keep that energy down. Even when I get out of my car, I do it when I get in, I do it when I get out. Okay. I have a shungite triangle, a tourmaline disc, and a clear quartz tower right there in the center of my car. One of my cars, the one I drive a lot. Right there in the center of the car too. Keep that energy pure, baby. Okay, now I've been incorporating diffuser where I put oils and stuff in there, crystal infused oils like amethyst infused oil into the oil diffuser. Yes, girl. Girl, we get down with the get down, girl. Okay? Keep the energy nice and strong, baby. Okay? He sounded like he was queening out. No, he sounded like he was trying to get some tea, and he was. He was like, like he said, kitty cat. And I don't be thinking quick like that. Like I should have said, yeah, I like my kitty, pet it, to see what he would have said. But see, I wasn't thinking about that. Like after that, I was like, fuck, I should have said, yeah, because girl, you never know. Daddy might be making $100 million a year. I don't know. Daddy could be making $250,000 a year, baby. Listen, I'm not saying I'm a gold digger. But baby, we got dreams, we got goals, girl. Mystic trying to build a healing center for y'all to come out and see me, girl. Y'all can stop on by, okay? Y'all can stop on by and see me, girl. We can have chit chats all day longer. We'll have meetings every week. Okay, so mama need all that money. You hear me? Mystic need all that money. So you never know. I should have said, honey, yeah, my kitty cat likes to be petted round, and see what he would have said. He probably would have said, really? Is it a fat kitty or is it a small kitty? Yeah. Yeah. I gotta think quick the next time. Anyway, Mystic, that telepathy. Is that telepathy? Oh my god, of course I'm not gonna be able to say it. I could say this. That could be called that. I could just tell you, like, from what I read of telepathy, from what I read, it's like a concentration and you're tapping in. Like, I'm going by like energy, right? Like I'm just gonna say this. I think that sounds or your thoughts sends out energies, and I feel like I'm able to tap into that energy. Like I don't care who, what, when, why, and how. And like I said before, this is what's kept me out of danger thus far. When I'm dealing with people, like I can instantly get a feel of that energy. And sometimes these people energy are so strong, and it could be overwhelming of negativity or overwhelming of positivity, and I feel it, and it makes me very nauseous, mostly with the negative stuff. So like I said, going into that, once I feel that sensation, now I can pick up stuff. Now I'm probably tasting, now I'm feeling things, now I'm having like a memory. And even when we had readings before, two of you in particular, we had a reading before, and I said I keep smelling tangerines, and I don't eat tangerines, y'all. I don't spray tangerines. Like that's not a fruit that I deal with. So to be on this conversation, we're talking, and we're not even doing a reading. We're having a discussion about a class, I believe. I'm saying, wow, I'm smelling a fruit, and it smells like, and I see tangerine. I'm like, oh my God, it smells like tangerine. And they're like, that's crazy because I have a plate here with tangerines here. And I'm like, really? And that just blew my mind. So once again, I just had a smell of it. Like I really smelt it. Going into another person, we did a reading and they're talking, and I'm keep smelling like when people, well, if you ever consume meat and a soda together and you burp, it's a different type of burp than drinking juice with meat or water with meat. It's a whole different type of burp. Either way, I could get a whiff of that smell, and the closest smell I have to tell you that it smelled like bologna. But we're gonna say pork, yeah, like bologna, yeah, bologna, like pork bologna. And so they're talking and they're deep in the conversation. And I was like, listen, I'm not being funny, but I keep smelling this shit. And I gotta mention it because if she tells me that she didn't eat this shit, like something else is going on here. And I said, woo, I just got a whiff of bologna. Like it smelled like bologna. And she's like, what? I said, yeah, I just smelled a whiff of bologna. And she's like, that's weird because earlier today I had a bologna sandwich with a Pepsi. Now, I don't drink dark soda. I've not had a dark soda since I was 16 years old. Okay, maybe even 15. I don't drink Pepsi. I don't drink Coke. None of that. So for me to have that smell, like it was amazing. And like I said, going into visions and all this stuff, like there's so many gifts that people have. And like I said, I could just go into reading. I read energy, whatever that energy is. If it's a sight, if it's a feeling, if it's a sound, whatever comes, it comes. But I guarantee you, I'm going to tap in. If I hear something, oh my God, I'm hearing a name, I'm seeing a name, whatever, I'm feeling a name. I'm feeling like her name is Veronica. I'm seeing a Veronica, I'm seeing a Mary, and I'm seeing a Lucille. What significance is this with you? Like, I'm gonna speak it, girl. I'm gonna say, ooh, I'm feeling something weird. And even sometimes too, where I'm like, I feel very uncomfortable right now. What does that mean? I don't know. I just feel very uncomfortable. Almost like I'm being watched. And then of course now the story is well, it's weird you say that because the guy in particular that we're talking about right now, he's also been stalking me. And then I'm like, wait, what? Like, wait, what? This guy is stalking you? Is he looking through your windows and shit? Cause like, girl, it's creepy as fuck, bitch. Anyway, so like I said, I don't know what that is, but I just know I tap into energy, you know, smells, taste, feelings, you know, majority of the time it's after the math, like we have an interaction. I go to bed and I'm like, ooh, I have a dream. Maybe at the end of the day, I'm having some like a little mini vision, like, ooh, this bitch is gonna get that job. Ooh, wait, bitch. Ooh, oh, another thing too. I want to say this too. I want to say this too. Now, I don't know if she's gonna come, and this may not be receipts, but I just had this girl because I'm about to get ready to go, wash myself up, and take my ass to bed. Someone I know works for a family, and I've been asking this person for almost this whole year. Is this woman pregnant? Is this woman pregnant? No, 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 she's not. I would know. I'll be the first to know, right? She's been saying this. And I want to say maybe like a month ago, she barely said that. Um, I think she's holding something out for me. She might be pregnant because I saw something. And come on to find out, this lady is actually pregnant. Now, the lady barely found out she's pregnant now. But I'm telling my sister that no, mama has been trying to get pregnant all year because I keep seeing pregnancy. Like, I like to look out for the people I love and care about. Like I said, you can call me being nosy, you can whatever. If I'm talking with you and you're telling me, oh girl, I want to take a trip to New York because I feel like New York is going to be everything, and I know you're not trying to get a reading from me or whatever. If I see like, ooh, honey, you might want to be careful about going to New York though, because, girl, there's a lot of weird shit going on. It's because I'm seeing something weird happening to you. So with that being said, same thing with that. I literally, y'all, was seeing this lady that I never met in person. I don't know what this bitch looked like. I just know her name. I literally am seeing this woman, like, tall, very, very dominant, like she's a bossy type of lady. And I'm seeing baby, like mama wants a daughter. Like she already has a son, but she wants a daughter. And I keep seeing this. I'm like, why am I, what? Oh, well, I saw this. This is the first vision I ever had. I'm dozing off. I have a talk with my friend. She's like, yeah, I think I'm going to talk about getting an increase because I feel like they should owe me, they should pay me more money. And we end the call. Several hours later, I get home. I end up dozing off, y'all. I slept for like 2.5 hours. And like I said, I'm seeing this lady and I'm seeing like a little girl. And I'm like, that's interesting. Go about my business. I want to say a couple days later, my sister and I were still talking about this lady. And I said, is she pregnant? And she's like, no. I said, okay. And then a couple weeks later, is she pregnant? No. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, is she pregnant? No, girl. If she was pregnant, I would know. Trust me. I'll be the first one to, okay, girl, go on there. Oh, she's taking a trip. They're going to be gone for a week. Girl, is she pregnant? No, she's not pregnant. And I said, girl, I'm not being funny, but I really think that this woman is pregnant or she's been trying to get pregnant. Bam, y'all. The lady pregnant right now. The lady pregnant right now. She pregnant right now. And like I said, I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video chat with my sister, and I want her to come on here and testify that I said this bitch was pregnant before she even got pregnant. I said she's pregnant. We had this vision earlier this year, and I said she's pregnant. No, she's not. Okay, maybe she's not. Okay, she's pregnant now. No, she's not. Okay, maybe she's not. Then I'm like, fuck it, she's trying to get pregnant. Okay. Anyway, honey. Let's see. And Jimmy needs some tea. I know that's right. Nobody you were explaining him talking about the higher up gave me the queening out part. But I know Asian man gets down. I remember when I was at the mall and this grown ass Asian man walked up to me, smelled like something weird, and he was like, "Yo, I never fucked a black girl." Like, what the fuck? Oh, he wanted that, honey. Yeah. Listen, I might need to take my way on down there to Long Beach, honey, huh? I might need to make a little round pass. I might need to make my way over there to Long Beach, Chinatown. Anybody in Long Beach, you know about any Cambodian, Khmer, Laotian, Thai food place that I can go and have some fun and meet some Cambodian boys, some Thai boys, some Lao boys? Because you know, girl, I want to try something new, okay, for the new year. Hello? Happy New Year. Okay, come on in here. I want to try something new. Okay, anyway, y'all let me know, honey. Okay, around here, girl, you know, they're not biting. Okay, I would love, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of Cambodians and Khmer's over here too, girl, because you know they all up in Southern California. But I might need to make my way over there down there to uh, Long Beach because they got a town full of Cambodian people, and I need to see those people down there and get some of that Kanpo Badleep. Okay, make my way on down there to the Cambodian boy and girl, well, boy, not girl, Cambodian boy, and give me some of that Cambodian Sarah Gari. Okay. I need some of that Sarah Gari. Okay. If anybody know about some Sarah Gari, okay, in Cambodian Long Beach, let me know. Okay. Anyway, Kanye run for presidency. He confirmed it on Fox News. I'll be there if he become the president. My wig gonna fly off and my boobs will drop down to my knees in shock. He better not. I know that's right. He better not. Ooh, a meat brat like bologna yuck. Ooh. My cousin Kiana older than me, and she would make me fried bologna sandwiches and later tots when I was a kid. Oh, honey. Oh, tater tots. Oh, no, honey. See, I haven't had bologna either, honey. Oh, no, honey. Oh, no, girl. I make a correlation between bologna and drugs. Oh, honey, what? That's why I said, honey, I think Cambodians and Laotians go toe to toe with black guys. If they say that black guys heavy tea, if they say that black guys teas are long and heavy, baby, y'all better look out for the Cambodian honey. Because the Cambodian men, oh, that's what it means. The Cambodian man and the Laotian man, oh my God. Listen, one of my sisters was like, I don't do Asian men. I think they're sexy, but I just couldn't imagine a small, slimy piece of meat. And I said, girl, what? What what type of Asian guys you dealt with? And she said, honey, the ones I met, I said, girl, let me send you a picture. I didn't send it immediately because I wanted her to, you know, forget about it. And so I had to ask her, I'm gonna send you some pictures and I want you to guess their ethnicity. So I sent a Chinese tea, I sent a Laos tea, I sent a Vietnamese tea, Cambodian tea, a white tea, a black tea, and what was he? Peruvian tea. So of course she's like, she guessed, I want to say she guessed all like five of them right. The two that she got wrong was a Chinese and the who was the other guy that she got wrong? The Chinese guy and the I think it was the Laos guy. Because the Laos guy, it took me 2 years to get his ass, honey. We talked about that before. But she was like, oh, honey, Mexican. Nope, he's Lao. Oh, the Chinese guy. Oh, that's a white guy. No, honey, he's Chinese. And he worked at a Chinese restaurant, honey. Yes, honey. Hello. Yes, he's Chinese, mama. Full-blooded Chinese, too. You wouldn't believe it, though, honey. Like I said, girl, y'all better stop with that racist thing, honey. You like it, you like it. You don't. Keep it moving. Do you like the ping? Or is there something else you're going on with? Anyway, I gotta go. Cambodians hand down. I know that's right, honey. It's that Austronesian. I know that's right, honey. I know that's right. I know that's right, honey. I need a Cambodian man, honey. I can play in his hair. I could play in his hair, honey. Matter of fact, let me see where there's a Cambodian market over here. Maybe I can go pick up a Cambodian man or something in the market. Baby, can you leave her alone? That's why she just did that, bitch. Leave her alone. I know he needs to leave my mama alone, huh? Anyway, y'all, I gotta go, y'all. I was gonna go get me a bag of hot Cheetos, but I will be a real fat bitch if I go out right now just go get some hot Cheetos, honey. Like I was debating it, like, but I'm like, bro, I think I'm gonna take this shower and get up and relax. I better not say get up and go, cause now. Anyway, y'all, loving like 50 Cent is not cute in my opinion. Look like some Mongolian teas there. Oh well, honey, I don't think Mongolian like Asian. He's giving me a Mongolian like special needs. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that neither. I'm not saying. I'm just saying, like downish type of tea, Down syndrome type of tea. No, thank you. Anyway, love and light, everybody. Have a great night. twospiritmystic.blogspot.com. All teas in this is alleged until proven otherwise. Okay, thank you for stopping by here. Hope you have a great night. And we will be back on Saturday for another Midnight Metanoia. And I think that one is going to be recorded. Because I feel like when I do live Midnight Metanoias, honestly, y'all, I feel like a lot of stuff come up, and I don't know if it's directly linked to the people I'm tapping in on, so that's why I don't just come out and say stuff. And it's just a lot. So I think Saturdays Midnight Metanoia will definitely be recorded. Okay. So anyway, that's it for now, y'all. Love and light. Have a good night. Okay. Yes. Get them, girl. Oh, should I? I don't know. Because then I got to put on clothes. I got to put on clothes. I got to put on my good hair. I got to get in my car. I got to go drive down. I got to go put on my good hair. Oh, hot Cheetos con limon. Listen, can I order? Let me see if I can order something on the app or something, girl. Let me get somebody to bring me something. Now I'm being that lazy girl. Let me get somebody to bring me some DoorDash or Grub. Bella, yeah. I need you to back up, girl. I need you to back up. I know I love you, honey, but I need you to get out my face. And I need you to back the fuck up, bitch. Yeah, I think I'm gonna order some. I think I'm gonna order me something through DoorDash or some Postmates. Whoever up, whatever up. Let me order me something, honey. Anyway, y'all, love and light, two spirit mystic.blogspot.com. Bye for now.